Haven't recorded a video for a while, so let's see if this will work. Hi, thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Furk, aka Phil, and as you might spot it already on the thumbnail and title, I again unfortunately couldn't resist my gas urge again, especially regarding retro style camera, and got myself an OM3. Oh, sorry, this is the inspired design from the OM1. This one is the OM3. As you can see, both are almost identical by design. The OM3 is inspired by the OM1, the OG film camera one. Yeah, as you see, it is basically almost one-on-one copy, modern copy you could say. The dimensions and the size quite easily fits on the OM1. And this is something I really appreciate. This is one of the main reasons why I was looking into the OM3, because of the size and the retro style camera, because I'm unfortunately having a soft spot for this kind of camera frame. At the time of this recording, the XE5 has been released also, and looking at the specs, I have some comments on that, but more on that later, specifically in comparison with the OM3. But again, the OM3 is very sexy next to the OG one. As you know, I'm also a big fan of the Nikon Zf, which is also a retro style camera, and its inspired origin is the FM2 according to the marketing material. But as I mentioned that in my past videos, I was a little bit disappointed, although I understand the reasoning because of full frame and all the tech which has been crammed into this body. But because of that, the ZF has been much bigger compared to the OG one, the inspired film camera, the FM2. Yeah, of course, because of that you also notice that in the handling of the camera, the weight and the ergonomics, which I raved a lot in past videos with the ZF. But the ZF is not the topic of today's video, it's the OM3. Some of you might know that I made a video about the OM3 when it was released, just my thoughts on the camera. And back then I had the feeling that for the price it's unfortunately too expensive, because looking at the specs, they are fine, they're quite amazing for a modern day camera, but price around 2,000 euros, it's, you could say an average user might have a difficult time to choose actually this camera, because you can look at used or also sales of the ZF. Of course, you have here a much bigger, heavier camera, but then you have full frame. You can look at Fujifilm, the X-T5, which has been released since 2022. So you also have a lot of used options. Here again, since the camera is quite long on the market now, you can also get some great deals, which is also cheaper than this camera. And from Fujifilm again, you have the option of the X-T50, and now on the day of this recording also the XE5. And all of them are also retro style cameras, have a slightly bigger sensor. APC is a little bit bigger than Micro Four Thirds, and I think all of them have much higher megapixel counts. So it doesn't seem to make sense to choose the OM3, you could say. And the reason why I bought the OM3 is, first of all, that I was able to get, you could say, a discount price. The OM3 is still selling for the original price of 2,000 euros in dollars. I think it's almost similar. Right now you are able to also get some used options. I saw on IMDb some of them are traded around 1,800 euros, and that's also the price I paid for mine, because I have a corporate benefit, you could say. And my local camera store in Sling, Fotoprofi. Thanks a lot guys again for the support. They realized that price also for me, and therefore I got this camera for 1,800. And I think if you are able to get the camera around that price, it's still more expensive compared to the other options. But then again, I think it's more interesting for some people, and also for the price you get a lot of take on this camera. The second point why I was looking at this camera is because I also watched some videos on YouTube regarding cameras again. 3 videos about the OM3 somehow sold me on the camera. And these videos are from Ellie from 1 Month 2 Cameras. She has a beautiful channel about cameras. Go check her out. Then Emily from Micro Four Nerds. She's, as the channel suggests, specialized on Micro Four Thirds cameras. And also Atola from Atola Visuals. I'm not sure if that's her name, but I assume so. All 3 videos of them just covered the OM3 beautifully. And you can basically see how skilled they are regarding photography and taking pictures, editing them. All of them have their specific style, and the storytelling is just amazing to watch, so go check them out. Watching these videos did make me think that they are able to look past the look past the sensor size, you could say. They did shoot a lot of low light scenarios also. Of course, you are not able to get that much light into the sensor like a full frame camera, especially when you want to freeze the object. That's not possible with the OM3 compared to a full frame sensor. But if you're shooting stills objects, the IBIS on this camera is just amazing. And these videos I mentioned before just showcase the OM3 very much regarding its capability. And since I'm a nerd regarding retro style camera, somehow all these factors made me pull the trigger on this beautiful camera, although I had my doubts at the beginning when it was released, which I still have, you could say. But instead of commenting on a camera I never used before, I decided to basically buy it with my own money, test it out on myself, and then make my own conclusion and share it on my channel. Since I have one which is, you could say, somehow is drifting towards the retro style camera niche, but that's something I just enjoy based on the cameras I like and purchase. As you can see, I have here the OM3 paired with the Lumix 51.7 lens. It's a so-called Summilux for Micro Four Thirds cameras. And yeah, in my opinion, it looks quite nice, quite lightweight. The first thing which you might notice is if you compare it with an ZF or a Fujifilm X-T camera is that the dials on top of the OM3 is quite modern. You don't have the dedicated shutter speed dial and so on, like Fujifilm or the ZF, which you could say is a bummer, but compared to the OM1, I will find out after using it more extensively. Since this is my first day, I did some test shots here and there, but I have to use it properly to make my own conclusion on this camera. For now, I have, as I said, this 15mm 1.7 lens on my OM3. What I also did is that I purchased an adapter to adapt some, as you see here, an M lens, since I also shoot Leica M glass on my Leica M bodies. And look at this combination. It really looks amazing. This is the Thipog Smira 28mm 1.4. Since it's on a Micro Four Thirds sensor, it's multiplied by 2, so it makes it at 56mm at 1.4. The depth of field is of course not that shallow, but it gathers still that much light. The downside, besides looking this amazing, are also having manual focus, what you can say completes the retro style ling with an aperture ring. The downside is that with this adapter, unfortunately, the infinity focus is not correct. And this is something I realized again and again with all these adapters. I think I had also one adapter for Fujifilm where the infinity focus was not correct. The same for the Z mount on the Nikon system. For the Nikon system, I especially bought a Vogtländer adapter recommended by Samuel from Samurai Street Live, because that one has correct infinity focus. This one, unfortunately, has not correct infinity focus. So you have to be cautious regarding focusing, because if you hit infinity, you are focusing beyond that. The second thing I noticed with just adapting this on the first day is that somehow the OM3, although I have activated it, focus peaking, does not allow focus peaking with a manual focus lens with a dummy adapter. I have to check the settings in more details. As I mentioned, I have this camera for the first day, but when I throw this lens in manual focus, I instantly have focus peaking, punch into zoom, and then you can just manual focus as usual. Not happening on this combo yet. I have to find out why, but I wish I'm able to make this work, because somehow this just looks amazing, and the rendering of this lens is quite nice. I want to use it on the OM3 for some manual focusing scenarios, focus assist, and not having correct focusing scale is a bummer, but let's see if I can find a workaround. That being said, I'm quite excited to use this camera more often and share it with you on this channel, so stay tuned for that. Last comment on the XE5, which has been released today. On paper, you can say that basically all the Fujifilm cameras I mentioned before, the X-T5, the XM50, and now the XE5, they kill the OM3 specs-wise. Resolution, megapixel, viewfinder, especially the viewfinder, it's okay on the OM3. I'm a bit disappointed, although I have heard that in the reviews, but if you have looked through the viewfinder of an OM1, it's a pity that they didn't use also the viewfinder of the OM1 as a guideline for the OM3, but yeah, I guess that's a budget thing. And nevertheless, most of the Fujifilm cameras have also a better viewfinder. I think the XE5 is the same like this one, especially the XE5. If you are comparing regarding size and weight, the XE5 is also winning in that category. So again, regarding the XE5, I think it's again regarding spec-wise and on paper, it just beats the OM3, since also in Germany it's listed for 1,500 euros. You would save a lot of money compared to an OM3. But that being said, I think I will wait until the XE5 will hit the market, and perhaps I will also have a closer look at that camera. Let's see. At this current point, I would just want to use this camera to make my own experience, and perhaps also the XE5. Let's see. That's all for today. If you are still watching until this point, thank you very much for your time. You are the one who deserves the like for that. If you want to support my small little channel, just check the links below in the description, or buy me a coffee, link also below in the description. And as I mentioned, stay tuned for upcoming videos about the OM3, but also other cameras I have in the pipeline. And if you want to know why I somehow do like the Lumix S9, which is currently recording me, just click on this video.